What's going on, everyone? Oh man, do I love seeing this? Better understand why. Yeah, of course. All the common whole understands this. All of humanity is gonna understand this video. You know what I mean? This is what we want right now. The signs already. Yeah, you guys ready? This is great. Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella warns of AI becoming a bubble. Here's why. Oh, you think so? Yeah. This is what we want. This is what we want. Look, this is what we want. Not trying to front. Okay. Speaking of the World Economic Forum 2026 annual meeting, Satya said the benefits of AI need to be so much more evenly distributed to avoid it becoming a bubble. No, it does not. It needs to pop. That's what needs to happen. You see what I mean? Gotta pop that bubble. Because everything has gotten worse ever since you morons have been chasing this. You even forget about the foundation of your company. Not just you, Nvidia ruining everything, prices going up in every spectrum imaginable. All of this so that you could feed some artificial machine. It's so stupid, man. It needs to be a support model. It should not be something that should be front stage center of the world like this. Be so upside down and backwards. Where like all the industries that got into the position that they are, along with the people that you can't survive without, because if they don't support you and they disappear, it just falls under, had nothing to do with that. I mean, sure, it was there getting this little data feed and machine learning for the longest, but it's like, how do you think you got to where you're at? Right? Or it's just going to be you and the AI sitting there with no money. Yeah, I mean, it's not smart. This stuff needs to stop now. I mean, it has ruined the gaming industry. It's destroying PC gaming. It is jacking up the price of all electronics. Everything is making everything worse. And for you guys to bet everything on it because you made so much money, I mean, it just doesn't make any sense at all. So this is what let's continue on here. This is not even a long article, but there's a lot to talk about when it comes to this. He says, Microsoft's chief executive officer, Satya, warned that if the benefits of artificial, keyword artificial, it's all about organic, bro, artificial intelligence are not evenly distributed, it soon may become a bubble. Speaking at the World Economic Forum 2026 annual meeting, he said that the benefits of AI need to be much more evenly distributed to avoid it from becoming a bubble. For this not to be a bubble by definition, it requires that the benefits of this are much more evenly spread. Here's the thing. When you say benefits much more evenly spread, what are you talking about? This is corporate talk here. This is so that they can succeed at their corporate agenda. This has nothing to do with us getting more benefits. No, it's just them being more lazy, taking more shortcuts. Of course, they want to make it as human replaceable as possible to make more profit and to get their way. And we know that could go as far as termination. You really don't want that into an elite society with machine martial law that you do not want. And from a gaming perspective, I mean, this whole generation we had, and PlayStation gamers, Xbox gamers, PC, Steam, anybody, because Unreal Engine slop would have showed you everything, right? The shortcut of it, putting everything on Unreal Engine 5, hitting the auto switch, the stupid hires, broken releases, unfinished products, buggy as hell, giving you ridiculous requirements that you don't need, all the stuttering, all the crashing. You couldn't even get the generation you wanted. Everything was so freaking broken and unfinished. Before the Switch 2 came out, we're talking about in the PlayStation world, the Xbox world, and the PC world. It was all just Unreal Engine 5 everywhere because people wanted to make more money, and then Nvidia wanted to get everybody to get on the fake frames and AI upscaling so that you could take shortcuts, and then they will be optimizing for the high specs and screw over people with older rigs. So you feel like you're left out so that you could upgrade and buy that aspect. You see what I mean? Like, when you think about all that, and then all of a sudden, all the prices of everything's up. Look at the price of RAM. Are you kidding me, man? You used to be able to get 32 gigabytes of RAM. No problem, bro. Spend $100 easily. You know what I mean? Maybe a little bit more if you want, like, 6,400 megahertz. You're trying to hit the peak, or like close to 6,000 megahertz or 5,800. You guys know what I'm talking about, though. And seeing that now, it's like, how does this even happen? And I don't understand how the mistakes that it's making. Two, like we're talking about crashing the airport last year too. Recent Windows 11 updates. Every time you see it, right? They were saying it made 70% mistakes when you think about where it's at right now. It's going to 70% of it is No. Then they say 30% of it is written by their code. And then you're talking about evenly distributing it. No. It should have been something that is like a side project that you're continually growing while you think about the more important things. And they made it clear that if they got their way, you would be sacrificed, you would be replaced, and it would be the front center stage and attention. Something artificial ruling the world. They want something fake. It's not real. It doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have color. And that is what they want to dump everything into and to screw you over. Though it's only gotten to what it's gotten because it got all that data and telemetry and spying off of you. You see what I mean? Windows 11 garbage. Why everybody hates that now. The worst Windows ever, right? Why? Because of the AI enforcement. So when you really think about it, nobody wants this. And then when you look at Copilot, except Google Gemini, that seems to be the only good one that's doing well. When you really think about it, nobody wants Copilot. They have to force that into TVs. They got to force that into updates. They have to make it to where, oh yeah, here's how you can uninstall it. You see what I mean? It's like, no, dude, the telltale sign is there. Copilot is failing. Nobody wants it. Nobody uses it. So then he says, Natale highlighted that it will be a telltale sign of a bubble if all the AI talk focuses only on the supply side or the technology companies. That's exactly what's happening because everybody's trying to get that shortcut, get that stock feed, and make that easy money. You know what I mean? And just data gather and spy and sell your data and do all that stuff. It's not going to go much more past that at the moment. I mean, it needs a lot of time. You know what I mean? Even Bill was saying certain things like, you know, you're not going to be able to replace people with certain things. There's things that you can't do because it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have living intelligence to adapt. Only what you tell it to do. So needs to focus on increasing AI diffusion. Satya said that the main concern is increasing the diffusion of AI. I think when it comes to AI, the real question in front of all of us is how do we ensure that the diffusion of AI happens and happens fast, he said. I am much more confident that this is a technology that will, in fact, build on the rails of cloud and mobile. I mean, cloud, yeah, it's computing. I get that. But it's doing it the right way. You guys, once again, have shown that you went full-blown Satan on us. Diffuse faster, bend the productivity curve, and bring local surplus and economic growth all around the world, he said. You see, these words sound good, but all it's doing is pricing out everyone, making everything worse, and pissing off everyone. So you say these words, right? Like, oh, people shouldn't do this, say nothing about AI, stop. Then you come out and say it's a bubble. It's like, dude. Then you look at stuff like Black Ops 7. Usually you look at how many mistakes and updates it does and messes up consistently. Then you look at human resources, put you in a loophole. You can't even get to anything functional. It's really annoying. That's what it is. AI should do something useful. Oh yeah, of course, exactly. Because right now it's doing everything useless and making everything worse. I mean, there's some cool things that NVIDIA has with it, but the decisions that they make and the priorities have ruined that. He noted that AI should be utilized to enhance the lives of everyone. That's what I mean. It's supposed to be a support role. That would be if it's supporting. From improving educational outcomes to increasing public sector efficiency. We as a global community have to get to a point where we are using AI to do something useful that changes the outcomes of people and communities and countries and industries. Yeah, not morons sitting around using it to be a weirdo, a creep. You see what I mean? What he just said is what could be intelligent for it if that was actually being done. And we saw a global economic benefit, if we saw people getting helped, if we saw things, like if things were looking positive. But if you really ask everybody right now online, I guarantee you're going to get nothing but negative replies for the most part. Then you're going to have people that like it because it's benefiting them, so they're not going to say that. But we need to speak from the common ground, like look at the whole picture and then realize that, no, I've never seen people be more slow. Like their IQs just drop down significantly and they have no brain cells because of some of this AI stuff that it takes center stage on everything. It's like they're just dumb. Like it's not good. And I have to say this because I need to be blunt about it, where it's like it makes them worse. They can't even spell. They can't even like do anything the right way. If they don't have the AI, they can't even function. And it makes them way worse over time. They're incredibly slow. They also desensitized. They have no communication skills. They don't know how to build anything with anyone. And they just sit there on that all day. And this is a popular thing everywhere. and they're isolated. So I don't know about that. And I can say the same thing for developers, right? Like every time you take a look at what's going on and you see all this stuff is so similar, like we look at an average service game, the same slop rotating, farming over and over, it's so soulless. And that's how you can tell it's AI. And it just doesn't do good. Look at Black Ops 7. You see what I mean? It just tanks down everything because it doesn't have a soul. It doesn't have a heart. So, I mean, you can't get it to replace the human being. It's not the human being. You know what I mean? It never will be. Supposed to be its companion, not its terminator, and making everything worse. So he adapted that the role of AI needs to be examined across all aspects of life, such as how it is helping pharmaceutical companies bringing critical drugs to market faster or accelerate trials. I mean, stuff like curing cancer, like that's what I mean. Like if you could find ways to get it to help the human being, then people would accept it more. And then when they wake up, they see they're getting benefited. Running around, you know what I mean? Just seeing the benefits everywhere, then yeah, that would be cool. He called the AI-driven economic growth rather than just increased spending. He called for, well, that's the thing. You know, and Satya's a smart guy. You know what I mean? I think he's a brilliant guy. He's a brilliant brother, you know? Love India. But look, what you just said is the problem, Satya. Increased spending and increased prices on the consumer. And then unfinished products, broken products, crashing things that shouldn't be crashing, terrible updates. I mean, yeah, that's the problem here. And then what NVIDIA is doing with it, just going full-blown evil on you. So yeah, that's my thing. Like, and then how bad Windows 11 is. You say those nice words, but let's see them get into effect. I want you guys to let me know what you think about this. I don't care. Regardless, this bubble needs to pop now because they need to think about what they did. Because everything he just said, yeah, you got some good ideas, but what was the problem? All this increased spending and then jacking up the price on the consumer and getting stingy on the consumer, 8 gigabytes of VRAM cards, canceling everything on the consumer, going backwards. All this stuff is just dumb. So yeah, later, y'all. Leave some comments down below as usual. Thank you for all that support lately. Love y'all. Peace.